Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. It's Thursday. The sun is shining, and everything is all good in the world. But yesterday, news come out. West Ham are looking at 150 million for Declan Rice. Is that enough, in your opinion? Because for me, I feel it's nowhere near enough for the man. The man's 22, 23 years old. He's a talent. He's going to get better. He's going to captain England. He's going to be one of the best midfielders on the planet, I believe, and in a better team that will flourish. But with West Ham, are we sort of playing a dangerous game here? Like, I see reports, people saying 150 million. He's trying to scare people away. They don't need 150 million to get Declan Rice out of there. They can offer 100 million, 50 million pounds for a talent. Do you know what I mean? If Manchester United come in with a bid of, say, 110 million and give us Marcus Rashford, would West Ham accept that? And I think West Ham would, in my opinion. Listen, Declan Rice is an unbelievable talent, and I love the man. I think the man's been absolutely first class for West Ham. But the problem is that if we keep him and we don't progress, then his value is going to go down. Or do we sell him to build the team? Now, should we have to really sell Declan Rice to build a team? Not really, I don't think. West Ham should be buying and selling players automatically. We shouldn't be relying on him. But Dec is a top talent. I see people criticising and saying that he's overrated and this and that. I'm sorry, he ain't overrated. He's very, very good. He's very, very good at what he does. So 150 million. And I just don't think it is enough. I really, really don't. Declan Rice is a top talent. And I look at it, if you get Declan Rice for 10 years at your club, you're getting a player there who's going to give you 10 years service for really £15 million a year. Now, you ain't going to get that anywhere else. Like someone who's like always going to be on top level. Now, you've got to look at the current market. When Jack Grealish is going for 100 million, Harry Maguire's going for 80 million, and let's be honest, he's better than Harry Maguire. He's worth at least 150 million. The problem is with West Ham. Are West Ham preparing to sell Declan Rice to bring in a squad? Because when you look at it, Krau ain't going to be in next year. Noble's going to be gone. Yarmolenko's contract's going to come to an end. And it's another way of GSB getting out of putting their hand in their pocket for me. It really, really is. They go and sell Declan Rice. And this is the fear that I've had for a long, long time. This fear has been that they're going to line up Declan Rice for a big money move, take the money, invest in the team, and not put a penny of their own money in. So basically, we've got a choice. We either sacrifice Declan Rice for the team, or we keep Declan Rice and be this team that we are now, but with just no players. Declan, I will hate the day when he has to go. Let's put it like that, because I just think ever since he's been our captain, he's been absolutely first class. He's unreplaceable. He really, really is. And I know people say 150 million. I think the board, if someone come in with a 110 million pound bid, I think the board would accept that. I really, really do. I feel that they know Declan ain't going to sign another deal. Do you know what I mean? Unless West Ham go up levels, which I just can't see it happening. So with Declan, for me, I do think this season is his last season at West Ham. I've said this on numerous player rating shows that he very rarely puts in a bad performance, if ever. I've said that this season will be his last season if we don't get European football, and we are massively in danger of getting that at present. So, for me, 150 million bid comes in, and West Ham can go and rebuild a squad. That squad has to be capable of breaking into the top six, at least, at the very, very least. It would need to, that 150 million would need to buy at least the very minimum 6 players, if not more. When you sort of weigh West Ham's team up, we are light in all departments. We're light at left back, we're light at up front, we're light in midfield. Like, no Krau, no Noble. That's 2 of our midfielders gone. You take Rice out of that, literally we've only got Souček, really, who's a midfielder. So, for me, Uh, I feel with Declan, I don't want to see no swap deal. I don't want to see no like players plus cash. I think it's got to be 150 million straight at the bat, and then give Moyes the money to go and buy the players. It's 100%. And this is all on Moyes. Obviously, I've seen reports over the last sort of 24, 48 hours. Brennan Johnson, who I've mentioned on here, Keane Lewis Potter, I've mentioned on here. And yeah, these are two young talents from the Championship. But I feel this season is like, if we don't get European football, it is good night from Declan Rice. It's going to, listen, as I say, I'm going to be gutted. Gutted. What the man's done for West Ham, how he sort of spearheaded us into a different light. I know a lot of people will give Moyes a lot of credit, but I think Declan Rice needs a lot of credit also. He's a captain. He's very rarely puts in a bad performance, if ever, as I say. He's always sort of on his game to a point. Must admit, recently he hasn't been wonderful, but he hasn't got to be wonderful because he's been first class ever since he's become captain. Last season in lockdown, he was excellent. And we missed him last season. And let's be honest, if he don't get injured against Arsenal or on international duty for England, he's not there for the remainder of the season, then I think we had Champions League football. Do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, he was a major misfit last season. This season, he's been absolutely top. So to have him, take him out of the team, and the problem is, who do you replace him with? That's the million-dollar question. Because there is no one like Declan Rice. This is a man who can play in defence, and he could do a great job. He could play as your DM. He could play as your attacking midfielder, right? He could play as your box-to-box midfielder. He's got so many roles that man can play. He can play as a back in the back three. That's why he's worth every penny of the £150 million price tag that West Ham put on him. The problem that we do have, though, is that are West Ham prizing this man out of a move somewhere else? That's the problem. Now, we've got a player there who's top class. We've got a player there who does everything right. His mentality is brilliant. He's focused. He's driven. He's everything you want in a professional footballer. But the major problem we've got is we don't want him unhappy that he, not down tools, but isn't on it. Now, for me, I can't think of anyone who really could replace Declan Rice at present. People have said Ward-Prowse. He's just not the same player. He's just not the same player. I've seen people say about other players, like Calvin Phillips gets mentioned. Now, to me, what West Ham are doing is they are looking at Calvin Phillips as a alternative if Rice goes. Take Phillips out, put Phillips in, take Declan Rice out. To me, it's nowhere near it. It's nothing against Calvin Phillips. I think Calvin Phillips is a good footballer, but he's nowhere near. He's on the level of Declan Rice. Nowhere near. Absolute no chance. And then I just can't think of anyone who could do that role, and also be the captain, also, because he's just a leader and a captain. He's a proper captain. That's the way I can describe Declan Rice. So it's a major problem in the summer. If a bid does come in, which I do believe people are looking, and I do believe that a big bid will come in. Will it be 150 million? I don't think it will be. I reckon it'll be about 125, something like that will come in. And a player. Now, Chelsea were, for instance, for argument's sake, they sort their financial problems out. They get their owner sorted out. That owner will have to make a star signing, basically. It would have to be someone that the fans would look at and go, "Oh, he means business." And what statement signing to get the fans on side is a player that's come from their academy. Do you know what I mean? In Declan Rice. So I do feel that Declan will be, there'll be a lot of transfer activity around Declan. The problem is with West Ham, who do we get to replace him? And I just can't think of anyone. Maybe Basuma at Brighton, but that's a push for me. There is not a lot else out there. And plus, West Ham will be fighting in markets like with Newcastle and other teams. And they will blow us out the water because they will pay the wages because they've got the money and we haven't. And if people know that West Ham are going to sell Declan Rice, excuse me, then for me, they know exactly the premium will go up on these players. Do you know what I mean? So if we want to go and get Brennan Johnson out of Forest or Keane Lewis Potter out of Hull, right, they might be worth £15 million now, but they'll go up 20 million. Do you know what I mean? A pair. And I know it's only 5 million, but that's 5 million that we can spend somewhere else. So for me, this is just a short video. And my opinion on this with Declan Rice is I just don't want him to go. I want to have to build around him. And I don't think he needs to go right now. But the problem is, if a bid comes in, I don't think that our board would say no to it. They love a pound note, as we all know. Like, this board are money-hungry people who just don't like to spend. So for me, I just can't see it. I just cannot see them, especially reinvesting all that money back into the club. Do you know what I mean? If West Ham get 125 million, say, can we all hand on heart say, "Oh, that's going to go back into the club"? Probably not. Probably not. They've promised us X amount of pounds in the January window, X amount of pounds in the summer window, and they haven't really delivered, if I'm honest. So it's a major concern, obviously, because we've been on such a high over the last 2 years. And I know it's only one player, and I know it's like he could get an injury and he could go down and West Ham will still be here. I get all that. But when you have got a world-class player in your ranks, and he is a world-class player, Declan Rice, he is. For what he does, he really, really is. Hello, Paul. Hope you are well, mate. All the way from Thailand. So for me, it's a major concern because I just don't want West Ham to be that selling club that go and get rid of their best players. You know what I mean? And look at Villa, for instance. Villa got rid of Grealish last season for £100 million. They've brought in some players who have done pretty okay. Do you know what I mean? Ings has done okay. Buendia is a good player. Who else they brought in? They brought in other players. Like Leon Bailey hasn't really hit the ground running, but they've still brought in some decent players. Can West Ham go and do that and still maintain a level? Do you know what I mean? Like Villa ain't the same team as they was last year. Do you know what I mean? When they had Grealish in their team, they looked a better team than they do at present. You just don't know what you're going to get with Villa. And you've seen it with other teams. But with us, when you look at how much of the squad needs sort of sorting out, from like strikers to left backs to central midfielders, even to centre halves, like, we need a lot of surgery. Do you know what I mean? We need a lot of sorting out. It ain't just Declan Rice, take him out, replace him with a 50, 60, 80 million pound player, and that's it, job done. West Ham need a lot of money spent in a lot of areas. And this has been going on for a long time. Now, I'll get to Rob's comment in a minute. When you look at our team and you go goalkeeper, I'll start off with the goalkeeper, for instance. Fab's going to stay here for another year. Areola's the man. Areola needs to be signed. No Sam Johnston, no one from in the Bundesliga or Spain or France or something for a cheap. Areola. He will be France's number one goalkeeper when Hugo Lloris retires. So that's a no-brainer for me. Sign the man up. When you go to left back, you've got Cresswell, who is hit and miss. He's either very good or he's not so good. And you've got Arthur Mazawaku, who everyone knows can't defend and it shouldn't be here. And then we've got no one else as a left back, who's a proper left back. Right back is a different problem, right? We've got a lot of right backs, but we don't know which one really is the best one. You've got Ben Johnson there, Kafal, Fredericks will probably be leaving, and you've got Harrison Ashby, who's I think is a very, very good player. Now, right back, I think we're fine. And then you come to the centre halves, and we've really got one top quality centre half at the club, and that is Kirk Zuma. Dawson shouldn't be a first choice. Like, he's been done great things at West Ham, but Dawson in a team fighting for the top six, he shouldn't be there. He should be a backup for West Ham, not a first choice for West Ham. Angelo Ogbonna, I think, won't be back. He's getting on now. He's 35, 36 years of age. Can you really rely on that man to come in and be the same Angelo Ogbonna again? I don't think you can. And Issa Diop is one good game, 6 bad games. So he's so inconsistent, it's unreal. So West Ham really need 2 centre halves in the summer. And that's not me being over the top. I'm just saying it how it is. Then you come to the midfield. Now you take Declan Rice out of there and you replace him with, say, arguably Calvin Phillips. That's all well and good. But then we are still 2 midfielders down. We've got no Mark Noble. We've got no Crowell. we're trying to get Lanzini into that position. And for me, it's just, I don't know, like it's just not right. Like we need at least two midfielders, yeah. And then you come to sort of up front wingers and wide men and everything, right? Now, Bowen, amazing, yeah, done great things. Fornell's workhorse, does great things. Benny, everyone knows, I like him. I think he's a talent. That's all we've got, really. Like Vlasic hasn't really hit the ground running. Antonio is a striker, but he's been made into a striker rather than being a natural striker. And when you look at the team, we need like massive squad depth, and we haven't got any of that. When you look at our bench, we've got a lot of youngsters that don't play. We've got Crowell who don't play, and you could probably pick your sort of starting 11 and your three subs, and that'd be it every time. Do you know what I'm saying? So West Ham need to go out and get a striker, a left winger, two central midfielders, possibly two centre halves, and a left back, and a goalkeeper before we even started. Do you know what I mean? And that's, if we lose Declan Rice, we've got to replace Declan Rice and all. So it's a major problem. It's just one of them. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them. Let's get to Robert's comment. Hopefully he don't go. Hope he don't go. If he was to be, I hope the club would get the players in without letting them know they're selling him to avoid the inflation prices. Yeah, I agree, Robert. But the problem is West Ham don't buy. That's the problem. So when bids are coming in for 40, 50, 60 million pound bids, they must know Declan Rice is going. Us as fans will know that he will be going. If I see a bid of 60 million pounds going to Leeds for Calvin Phillips, we all know Declan's going. There's no two ways about it. And like this is West Ham United. Like we don't do big bids. Now the big bids was in January. It was all fabrication, all around rubbish. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's one of them ones. What do you? I think West Ham should have acted like West Ham should get the players in, drag it out all the way to the last day of the transfer window, and then if he needs to go, go. But we will see. What we got there? Would you sign Areola? Because I'd rather sign him than Sam Johnston, who have also been linked with. 100% agree, mate. Areola needs to be signed, sealed, and delivered on July the 1st or whenever the window is open. Do you know what I mean? This man has done really. I think I see a criticism of Areola, yeah, and it baffles me, right, beyond belief. Because they say, oh, he's not very good. Well, for me, he's kept us in games. He's been arguably like I think he's been absolutely top class. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Against Seville, that save kept us in the Europa League. Like, and for me, he has to be signed. I think it's £12 million, I think, but he wants higher wages. Pay him the money. Like, no disrespect to Yarmolenko, I know what he's gone for and everything, but he's on silly money for what he brings to the team. Areola is 28 years old, and he'll be our goalkeeper for the next 5, 6, 7 years. Easy. And he would deserve that money also. So, 100% agree, mate. There's a comment I missed there. What's it? I've got a large bird of prey circling above me. Cheers, Jones. Whatever you say, mate. Do you know what I mean? Hit the like button, guys. Yeah, please do hit the like button. It goes a long way. It helps me out. And Robert says, I can't argue against what you're saying at the moment. Agree. Ario has made the save on Thursday. That will get him bought. 100% agree. If you see them splitting 6 incoming players between them, the next 2 windows, I can't see that getting more 3 or 4 incomers. Yeah, well, we need 6, mate. Ed, we need 6, mate. There's no 2 ways about it. When you look at the team, right, Fredericks is going to be leaving because his contract's ending. Yarm's going to be leaving. Noble's going to be gone. Crowell's going to be gone. So that's 4 gone straight away. Probably David Martin or Randolph will probably go as a goalkeeper, right? If not both of them, right? Then you've got Arthur Mazawaku, who's not good enough. So I've just named, 5, 6, 7 players there, and that's just to replace them. We're not improving. So, like, I've had this debate with people. Some people agree on the side of sell Rice, get the money, put all the money into the squad, make the squad better. There's no guarantees that the squad will be better with Declan Rice in it. But we need two ball playing centre backs to move on to the top six. I agree, mate. I really do agree on that. I know, but I think that they will only get 3 or 4 in each window. I agree also. There's someone out here driving a large vehicle. But listen, I'm going to wrap it up at that. Do you agree or disagree on this? Like Declan Rice, £150 million. I think it's a must. I think it's an absolute must that we that if we get that money, we have to sign at least six or more players. Nothing would surprise me if West Ham offer Yarmolenko another deal or something crazy like that. Now, no disrespect to Yarmolenko, he's done great things and he's been absolutely, inconsistent at West Ham, to say the least. And I know what's going on in Ukraine is absolutely horrendous, and I do feel for him and his family and everyone who's associated with. But on a football term, he's not for us. He's not for us. He's not what we need. We need better. We need younger, and we need some investment. And at the end of the day, West Ham need to be looking higher than Andrei Yarmolenko. Now, other players who will probably be staying there, like Souček, I don't think goes anywhere. I don't think Bowen will go anywhere this season or this summer. I'll be quite shocked if Bowen left after one good season. I don't think anyone can take the risk. I think if Bowen does great next season, then I think Bowen will be gone next season. But I think this season, I think we're perfectly fine. And obviously, Fornells will still be there. But it's going to be interesting summer. It's going to be interesting summer. And obviously, the Declan Rice, will he, won't he debate will go on and on and on. The question is now, is he worth, or is it enough? Is £150 million enough? And for me, I'm going to answer it and I'm going to say, no, mate, it's nowhere near enough. It's nowhere near enough of what we need. I think we need about 180 million, really. Now, I don't want to be going over the top, but when you look at the structure of West Ham and what we need to sort of replace and rebuild and everything, 150 million might get you what? 30 million pounds, maybe 25. You know what I mean? But even then, it's still not enough. Like, do you know what I mean? When you look at it, and for what he brings, I just wish West Ham would have spent 150 million or 100 million instead of rather letting go of an asset to strengthen. But this is a GSB thing, and this is what's been coming. And 2023 is not far away from them leaving. If they do leave, I think everyone would agree that Declan Rice was the final key in it. They know his asset. They know how much money they can get. They will sell him and roll into the sunset. So, yeah, it is what it is. I'll get to the final comments before I wrap. And 2 strikers, unless Moyes has been something from the academy that he likes for next season, I don't think there is anyone from the academy, mate, because I think they would have already played 100%. Jermaine Defoe's retired. Yes, he has retired, mate. He was with us from young. He was signed from Charlton as a youth team player and scored some good goals. I'll never forget the goal he scored against Charlton in a 4-4 draw in 2001, I think it was. I was only young. It was a Monday night football game, and we was, I can't remember if we was 1-0 down, 2-1 up, and then we went 4-3 up, and then we drew the game 4-4. Amazing game at the Valley. And he scored the goal to get us, I think he got us in the lead at 4-3, and who was it? I can't remember who scored Jonathan Johansson scored the goal for them, and in a 4-4 draw. Yeah, unbelievable. He started with you guys. Yeah, he did, mate. 150 million up front for Rice. I reckon we could sell him for 100. It's not enough, mate. Even 100 million. I think 150. If I think 150 was not enough, I definitely don't think 100 million is enough. When you look at him and you look at Grealish, what's Grealish really done this season? Not a lot. Now, is Harry Maguire worth 80 million? No. So Declan Rice goes and sits in any team in the top 6 in that midfield. Now, no, I do include City. I think, is he better than Rodri? I think he is, 100%. So for me, Declan is worth more than 100 million, mate. I really can't see Gold and Sullivan giving Moyes that much money. Do you know what, mate? I actually do agree with you there. I really, really do. And that is the fear. That's the fear factor that I do have. Is are they going to get the money and go to Moyes? There you go. You got 80 million, or you got 60 million. Because if he does that, then I'm sorry, but this West Ham that we're seeing right now won't be the same next season. If take Declan out, they give him 60 million budget, then I'm sorry, but they're just we need to get them out. Do you know what I mean? We really, really do. And hopefully move on to bigger and better things. I think we'll be disappointed again, but I hope not. I agree. Could Golden Sullivan could sell Rice and then run off with the money? They could do, mate. And I've actually called that from jump. Really, that's one thing that I have said. When they sort of got this Kadinsky in, yeah, they got him in, right, to get him involved in the club and everything. What's he really done? What's he really bought? Apart from paying their debt off, not a lot, really. Yeah, but they know Rice is an asset, and they know that you got in England. If you was to sell Declan Rice, you can sell him, and you could have a good CV on Declan Rice. Look what he's done with West Ham. He's in the England team. He's got to the final of the Euros with England. To me, he's future England captain. Right, take Kane out of it being captain, give it to Declan Rice. And I actually would have a bet on this. If Declan Rice becomes captain of England, I'd fancy England to win something. I really, really would. I just think he's that way inclined. He's that bold and driven, and he don't like to lose. So, yeah, for me, that's the fear. I just sense that GSB are lining something up, and then give Day peanuts. Really, do you know what I mean? But I'm going to wrap it up there. I want to thank everyone who's been watching, and please do like the video. Please do subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way. It really helps me out. Obviously, international break this weekend, so there's no Premier League. So weekend off, and I'll be back next week to preview the Everton game. And it's a big game, the Everton game. It really, really is. Like, we can't get sidetracked by Leon because Leon's not there yet. But we've still got to do something in the league. We've still got to make sure that we cement at least 7th place. Do you know what I mean? And if we finish 8th or lower, it's a poor season for me. It really, really is. Considering we were 4th at the beginning of the year, and we're dropping down slowly. But confidence is next week. Obviously, Frank Lampard returns, and nothing will give us all greater pleasure than to put a few goals past his team and give him some more woes with his Everton side. But we will see. Please smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel and all that stuff. Thank you for your support. Enjoy your weekend, whatever you are doing. Don't forget the clocks go forward, I think it is on Sunday. So summertime is coming. And I will catch up with you in the near future. Anyway, take care. All the best. Bye for now.